Small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the third installment of my Hogwarts house series, which is Gryffindor, so if you like to see how I did this, just keep on watching. So starting off, I went in with the shade Redwood from Coastal Scents on a Wet n Wild blending brush, and I'm just running this into my crease as my transition shade.
Into your mind, just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control.
And then I'm also running this on my lower lash line, but I'm only bringing it, oh my goodness, bringing it in halfway from the outer edge to the center of my eye.
It's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the.
Then next, I'm taking the shade Venetian Red from Coastal Scents as well, and I'm using a Luxie blending brush, and I'm running this into my crease just to give it more gradual depth.
Let the darkness take control.
And then just repeating the same step on my lower lash line, just focusing on where I had placed down that first color as well. Then next, I'm taking Coastal Scents Pomegranate Red, and I'm using a defining crease brush, and I'm just running this into my crease, but making it a lot more precise because I wanted most of the depth to be in the very deepest part of where my eye socket is. And then do the gradual fade from the darkest red to the lightest red, because this is a Gryffindor look, which is red and gold. Well, more like a burgundy red and gold, but like I figured I would just focus the burgundy on the very outermost, oh my goodness, I just cannot speak today, outermost corner, which you will see me doing here after I blend out all the edges to make sure it looks nice and smooth. And then I'm going to be going in with Makeup Geek's Bitten, which is kind of more of like a burgundy shade. And I'm just putting this, building it up very, very slowly onto the outer corner of my eye using like it's kind of like an angled, dense pencil brush from Luxie. I'm not sure exactly. That's just kind of how I'm describing it. But I'm just gradually building that up slowly but surely on the outer corner. And then I do run that on my lower lash line as well. I do use a very small concealer brush from e.l.f. for that, I believe.
Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control.
And then just taking a flat shadow brush and some concealer, I am doing a half cut crease. And I wanted to do it pretty dramatically, so I like, instead of like having it connect where the inner corner of my eye is, I decided to kind of like have it meet where like the bridge of my nose starts, if that makes any sense, like the contour of where your eye socket meets your nose. Is that making sense? I hope that's making sense. And then I just use my finger to kind of like blend out the edges of the concealer into the outer corner of my eye.
Small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time.
And then next I'm taking this liquid eyeshadow from Appeal in the shade Rose Gold, and I'm just placing that all on that concealer I had just laid down. I forgot to mention that, was it just this? Oh yeah, okay, so far it's just this, but I am using some of the products I got in my March BoxyCharm as well, so this is one of those products. I really like this. It's really nice and vibrant and pretty opaque. And then, goodness, what else did I get in my box? Oh yeah, I'll be using two more of the actually no, all of them but the mask. I got the Wander Beauty mask in my box, but I don't use this for this look, obviously. And then I do run that on my lower lash line as well. I do avoid the inner corner because I want to use just a shadow right there.
Start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but at heart, in the dead of the night.
And then just taking more of that pomegranate red shade, I'm just using that to blend the liquid shadow into the matte colors just a little better.
Teardrops on the floor. The pain is overfilled.
And then taking some of that same shade on a small angled liner brush, I'm just running this right where the liquid shadow meets the red colors in my crease just to give it a more sharpened and defined look to it. And then I'm going to be going into the Cover FX, oh my goodness, what's this palette called? Face Perfector palette or something along the, it's a face palette. And I'm just using that highlighter shade. I'm popping that into my inner corner.
Control.
Then I'm taking the Wander Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara, and I'm just coating my top and lower lashes. Then for bronzer, I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me bronzer in the shade Medium, which is actually pretty light if you're pretty fair skinned, just in case you were wondering, because it's pretty light on my skin and I have pretty fair skin. And I'm just using that to bronze up my cheeks and the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going back into that Cover FX palette, taking that contour shade and the Precision foundation brush from Luxie, and I'm using that to carve out my cheekbones and my jawline. And I'm using the blush from that same palette, and I'm using one of the Moda brushes that I got in my BoxyCharm as well. It's the bigger one, obviously, and then I'm just using that to apply the blush to my cheeks. I really like this palette. I have yet to use the two center shades and the other highlight shade, but the other highlight shade looks a little dark, so it might not work on my skin tone. But then I'm going back into that golden highlighter, and I'm making sure I'm not dipping it too hard because it is pretty dark. And I'm using that to highlight my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and the bridge of my nose. But overall, I like that palette, and I do like the brushes. I did try out the mask already, and it didn't seem to irritate my face or anything. I didn't, I don't know. I'll have to use it a few more times to kind of see what I think of it overall. And then the last thing I got in my box was the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Sonoma or something. No, Sonoma. Maybe it was Sonoma. I don't know why that's coming to mind. I could be totally wrong. This is like a metallic liquid lip, and I thought it would suit well with this look because it's kind of like a burgundy color. And that pretty much is the end of this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already. I liked everything in the box for the most part, so that's a plus. And I'll see you in my next one.
Tuck me in small.